The sure way and the fastest way for you to stay broke as a web developer is to do this. That is, continue to do client work and do this for at least 20 years. And when you're in your 50s, and when people think you're old, and then you won't get any work because you're old. And there are going to be other kids who will be able to do the work for the half the price. So, that's what you want to do? Or do you actually want to make money and enjoy life? If you do, there's only one route that I know as a web developer, and that is to build myself a SaaS company. And that's what I did. I just didn't build once, I didn't build it twice. I built multiple different SaaS companies. That pays me passive income every single month. The reason why I did that is because I got sick and tired of keep on looking for the client work every single month. I would get really excited because I have a client who's going to pay me 10 grand. And I was like, yes, now we're going to have amazing time. Then I spent the whole month working on that project. And whenever I feel like I'm done, I send the project over. There's always a new revision for that. Or can you, Mark, please do this? Or Mark, can you add this a little bit? And I'll be like, being a nice guy, I was like, sure, I'll do it. Maybe you do the same thing. And then what happens? You do it one time, then you do it a second time, and third time, you're like, screw it, man, I don't want to do it. I should have charged this guy a little more. But you can't do that because the deal is already done. Next month, what happens? That deal is done, project is done, you're back to zero. At least that's what I was. I had zero client. Then I had to go find my contacts and then go market myself, go tell other people again that, hey man, I'm a web developer. I can build websites. I can build you a custom project. I can do this. I can do that. And that is a vicious cycle that just drains you emotionally and physically and then spiritually and every sense of the word. You're just drained. At least that's how I was. And then I got to the point where I got sick and tired of it and I didn't want to do it anymore. So that's when I decided, hey, let me just do the work one time. So I built myself a SaaS company. The first one that I built was a simple podcast cloud. It allows podcasters to go ahead and upload their podcast, and then I get paid for them uploading the podcast, and I send it over to Apple, Spotify, and everywhere else. And all the podcasters who use that particular SaaS company, it saves them gazillion hours of work. And I help them get the word out for their podcast so they can use the podcast tool as marketing for their business. It's a win-win. They use my platform, I get paid. They market themselves, and then they get paid when they get clients from the particular podcast. So situation like that, this is where I learned that it's probably best to use my coding skills to build SaaS company. And most web developers, this is where they go wrong, because I was talking to one of my coder client, you can call it, who I consulted with. His name is John, and let's just call him John. So he was in the process of building his SaaS company, and he got told that you just build it, it's going to be great. And then he spent about 6 months before meeting me, try to build it, and then he thought he was going to put everything that he knew, that particular solution for that problem that he was working on. I'm not going to tell you which one it is because it's a little more complicated. Just take my word for it. He spent 6 months trying to figure out every single possible way to solve that one particular problem. And then he went to the marketplace. He told everyone about it after 6 months. And guess what happened? Nothing. No one said that I want to be part of that SaaS company. No one gave them $1. Literally, no one signed up. No one used the system. It was just completely early failure because no one used it. I know from that first-hand experience. I have done the same thing. I don't know if you did or not, but I know I certainly did. It feels horrible because you spent 6 months working on something that you are so excited about it. And you think is people, when they find out about it, they're going to be extremely happy. They're going to be like, yes, finally, I got the tool that I needed for my business. And that was not the case for John. So he worked with me. I told him, John, do this. And if you're in that situation, maybe you should take notes and do the same exact blueprint that I told him to do it. Only pick one problem. So, for example, in my case, podcasting is a big world. You can solve all kinds of podcasting world, but I only picked hosting. The whole purpose of that company is for the podcasters upload their file and I will distribute it to the world. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and all that stuff. That's all I'm going to do. So it's just one specific problem that it solves. That's it. Not a gazillion problems. Like, for example, I could have gone and say, hey, you can host your podcast in here. And then after that, you can also sell digital products on that one, on same SaaS company. And then you could do email marketing as well. And then I will let you do a little transcription of the other blah. And I can add all these features, but think about it. If you went to a restaurant and it served steak, burgers, Chinese food, Indian food, as well as Russian food, as well as Mexican food, what are the likelihood of any of these dishes are gonna be any good? Every single one of them is gonna be horrible because they specialize in zero. Because to cook a certain ethnicity food, you gotta know the ingredients inside or out if you want it to be authentic. For example, Mexican food. Indian person can't cook Mexican food. Likewise, other way around. Mexican person can't cook Indian food. It's world of a difference. And Russian for Italian, Italian for the Russian, so on and so forth. So if you just solve one problem, people are gonna be like, you are the guy who can help me solve that particular problem. That's it. For me, people who have hosting issues with the other podcast hosting, they come to my company. Sole purpose. That's it. And then that's why I have all of these users who are paying me every single month. It's that simple. So one, your SaaS company should only solve one problem, nothing more. And then once you know what that problem is, then you go to the next phase. Before you write a single line of code, you tell everybody else about it and get their feedback and ask them, what are you going to be using it if this is the problem that you have? How would you want it to be solved? You take notes and then you ask them very important question, and that will be, can you give me $1, just $1, and I will build it for you, and after that you can have it for the first 3 months. Why that is so important? Because if they can give you just $1, that means your idea is worth paying for it. If they said, don't worry about it, I don't want it anymore, it's really not a big enough problem solving solution for what they want. So in that sense, what you can do is, what are the problems that you have that you are willing to pay for it just so it can save you time? Then you will have the actual problem that you're going to solve. People are going to pay for it. And right there and then you can ask them, hey, can I give me $10 and I will create that product for you? And this is how you validate your SaaS company idea in the marketplace. And if you want to learn a little more deep dive into it, I have a little course. The link will be in the description if you want interested in learning how to do that. I'll go into very deep dive into it. But if you follow just these two steps, you're going to be a lot further than if you just go shoot mud on the wall and hope it sticks. Just saying. Try that. I really hope it's going to work. And if you like this video, just subscribe and leave a comment if you have any questions or whatever. And I'll catch you in the next one.